going to invite them up to address the Assembly. Begoods. We can start the timer, please.
Thank you, Chiefs. I recognize the territory and all the parties. The most important thing is that this be a vote for children. And if it is, then we all win. When I talk about the funding, I just want to bring you to paragraph 383 of the agreement, because 47.8 is a very large number. But 383 is where the fine print enters in. And it says that any and all funding commitments by Canada agreed to by the parties in the final settlement agreement are subject to annual appropriations or other necessary approval processes by the Government of Canada. Well, what's that? They're undefined. It's arbitrary. It's discretional. So really what this is a one-year funding agreement with a lot of discretion from Canada after that. You, in the terms and conditions, you're going to have annual risk assessments as nations. They're going to come and look at your governance. They're going to come and look at your finances. They're going to look at your capacity. And they're going to determine whether or not you get the money, and if so, under what conditions. The agencies, an independent assessment has said that First Nations agencies will be underfunded over the first 5 years by $9.87 billion. We got to make sure that agencies are properly funded, but we also need to make sure First Nations are properly funded and they have the capacity building to be successful for their children. When it comes to Jordan's Principle on the off-reserve, they're right. Canada probably won't agree to that. They didn't agree to it when were pushing them to get Jordan's Principle off-reserve the first time. We went to the tribunal and we got an order for them to do Jordan's Principle off-reserve, and we should do the same thing here. This agreement is 9 years. That this case has been going on for 18. What do we say to that child in year 9 who's being left behind? There's nothing binding. They say that Canada will consider legislation in year 9. Well, I say, Canada, do it now. Show the Chiefs you're serious. We have some amendments that we're proposing, but I want to be clear about this, is we are inviting your better ideas. We want the best ideas to surface for kids. We don't want to see some kind of half deal where even we're wrong. We're putting it out there to be public and transparent. And we want to restore First Nations leadership, not a committee, First Nations leadership as the decision makers for your children throughout the term of this agreement. Ceding that to a committee is not going to be successful, because that committee is confidential. It can't talk to you. You can't talk to it. And it's no replacement for you and the experts that you have on the ground. And that's why I want to introduce Phyllis Hudson to talk about what this means for children, because she is an expert on the ground.
Respected elected chiefs, and I mean respected. At the end of the day, it's me as a social worker and you who answer that door at the middle of the night to a call of our people for help, for safety, for our children. It's us. It's nobody else but us. And they're relying on us. They voted you in. They trust us. I've been a social worker in New Brunswick as a Mi'kmaq for 25 years, and I've seen a lot of people come and go, not because they wanted to, but because the system failed them. They failed them. Our children didn't deserve and don't deserve to lose what they are supposed to have. And that's just very simple, equitable treatment. That's it. It's very simple. And there's nothing more gut-wrenching than having to sit here and to listen to this and to this fight. And at the end of the day, who is responsible for these children is you, respected elected leadership. And I, as a social worker, and I, as the social workers that represent New Brunswick, and I'm very honored, Cindy Blackstock, for allowing me this time, because I'll probably never get it again. Thank you.